Common analysis. For those returning viewers, glad to see you again. I know it's been a while. Sorry about that. I've had a few things to deal with. Hopefully, it won't be quite so long since the next one. And to new listeners, welcome. Please like, subscribe, share, join the conversation. We're always happy to see new faces here. Okay, so let's see. I want to talk about the 2026 Senate race. So, let's just see here where things are. This is because things have changed a bit since the last time I did one of these, which was a few months back. Granted, there's still over a year till the election. This could change, but this is the map of today. As you can see, Republicans have a 53 to 47 advantage, and this is the map. These are the states that have Senate races running. This is not what has changed. Well, a couple things have changed. Let's look at where we're at. So as you can see, Republicans have a 3-seat advantage. Democrats have to win at least 3 to get us to a tie, which would still not be enough. They would still need one more because J.D. Vance is the vice president, meaning he would play the role of tiebreaker. So if Republicans and Democrats split directly upon party lines, Republicans still have 51. So to take true control of the Senate, Democrats have to win 4 seats. So this is the consensus map. And this is the political consensus by all the different, well-known established punditry in the political world saying this is how they view the election at the moment, which is basically there are 3 toss-up states. There are a couple of leans, both directions. But let's say, New Hampshire lean, Minnesota lean blue, Ohio lean red. I think Ohio is probably going to be pretty safe red. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I don't think I'd be beyond shocked. Same thing with Minnesota. Let's face it, it's Minnesota. I think the Republicans are doing better, but Minneapolis, the Twin Cities just dominate that, just like Chicago dominates Illinois. So Minnesota continues to be the trailing indicator along the rest of the upper Midwest. But if you had to say, we don't even know who the candidates are at this point, so I would say gut is it's going to be, I'd agree with that. Maine is kind of, Collins seems to always win. She ticks off a lot of people, but she seems to win. Granted, her wins have been less and less over time, but she seems to win, so I think keeping that a likely, or leans Republicans, a fairly safe argument as well. So what does that leave? As we can see, the consensus map now is there are 3 toss-up states: Michigan, North Carolina, and Georgia. Okay, what has changed since the last time we did this was Tillis has now announced his retirement, who was the senator for North Carolina. Honestly, I think that's probably a better thing other than it loses the incumbency. It makes us now a completely open seat. And Roy Cooper, who is the very popular governor of North Carolina, likely going to be the candidate for the Senate. So that's going to be they're going to be solid. I don't think that the Democrats aren't going to be solid here. But I think provided the Republicans get a decent, strong candidate here, I think I would put that in the leans Republicans. That's where I had it before. I don't think losing Tillis's incumbency hurts them that much. In fact, I think it probably helps them because Tillis was a highly unpopular person across the political spectrum. So if I had to venture a guess right now, my gut would say this is a leans Republican. Okay, Michigan. The upper Midwest is absolutely realigning, has been for quite a while. Michigan and Wisconsin and PA are going to be solid red states if this trend continues. But the question is, will it be this time for the Senate? These states have gone Republican 2 out of the last 3 presidential elections, but Michigan is still not given us a Republican Republican senator. So I would say on my gut, slightly leans in Michigan to, we would say that would lean blue, if I had to say where things are now. Which as you can see, if that stays blue and North Carolina goes red, the numbers remain exactly the same, even if the Democrats win Georgia. Now, that's the last swing state. Now, where are we at in Georgia? Ossoff. I think he's a very weak candidate. He's only in there because of the weird electoral system that Georgia has. I think he's going to face serious competition. Is it possible that Trump hatred and all that other stuff is going to cause a rout there and the Democrat could win? It's possible Ossoff could hold on. He is an incumbent. Incumbency has its advantages. But if I had to say right now, I would give this to the Republicans. I don't think he's going to be a blowout either way. But if I had to venture a guess, I think Ossoff's in big trouble. And I think he's going to lose that state. So, what if this holds true? Republicans gain a seat in the 2026 election, which would be counter the norm for a midterm. and continue to show that Republicans are moving in the appropriate direction. Now, could any of these things go a different way? Absolutely. Could it be Michigan? Could it be these go the other way? Absolutely. These are going to be close. I don't think any one of these are going to be blowouts. Right? I don't think any one of these 3 states is likely to be a blowout. Is it possible something happens in New Hampshire? If Republicans get a decent candidate, maybe. Maybe New Hampshire goes blue. Maine, Collins could lose. It's not beyond the realm of possibility. She seems to always seem to win. But I just don't see any path where you get 4 wins. I shouldn't say 4 wins. 4 pickups for the Democrats. So that's what I got to say about that. Granted, it's still a year and a half away. Well, not quite a year and a half away right now because it's already July. So it's less than a year and a half away until the 2026 midterms. But I think things are solidifying. So we're going to get back to registration. Like registration numbers for Republicans continue to grow by leaps and bounds. Their ground game is improving. In fact, PA continues to grow. The Republicans continue to shrink the margin, the Democratic margin of active registered voters. If they stay on the route, if they stay on the path they're on, by the midterms, Pennsylvania, which isn't voting for a senator this term, by the way, will have actually have a registration advantage for the first time in as long as I can remember. I've lived in the state since '86. Democrats have always had a registration advantage, and it was well over 1 million not that long ago. So if the registration continues, if the growth continues, PA will have more registered Republicans than registered Democrats, and that's got to be disconcerting. I think you're seeing New Jersey is probably the next place to also fall. If you don't, I think New Jersey is going to not necessarily fall in the next election, but they're seeing the same types of things. Republicans are outstripping Democrats in terms of registration. They're growing anyway. I shouldn't say maybe outstripping, but they're growing. This is a place, it's going to shift. As these states shift, as these states have shifted, right, Ohio is now as solidly red as you're going to get. These states are going to get as solidly red as you can get. They're going to get just as red. I think New Jersey is very possibly going to be one of those places that's next if the trending continues. So we'll all see. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Have a great one, and I am out.